Ronnie Chatah, who's a political analyst and the host of a podcast, the Beirut Banyan. Ronnie, great to have you on the program. We spoke a few days ago. You said there is no way to see Iran getting the upper hand. And we've just heard what is the first meeting between European foreign ministers and the Iranian foreign minister since the fighting started between both countries. What do you think the role of Europe is here and the potential impact and influence that they can have?
To be blunt, I think their role is secondary. I don't think it's that important. I think diplomacy will happen with or without European parties nudging the Iranian regime to talk to the Americans. I think there is no other option left for this regime other than to find an off-ramp that is suitable to the Americans and the Israelis. Short of that scenario, I think the Israelis will keep bombing. You will have European parties always playing that role, but it's secondary for the moment. I do not see them taking the lead. I think this requires American-Iranian engagement. Otherwise, you will continue to see bombardment on both sides. And you're absolutely right. The Iranians hitting Haifa today, it is remarkable what the Iranians are able to do, but it doesn't compare to what the Israelis are able to do. And I think that is actually what is happening on the ground. The Israelis are dictating all security concerns on their terms. We're seeing that play out even when the Iranians can get through the Iron Dome system and hit Israel.
Ronnie, we heard from the US leader yesterday that he'll make a decision in 2 weeks' time. What do you think happens in those 2 weeks? How much diplomacy can take place?
I think quite a lot can happen in the next 2 weeks. And I think this is why you have this sort of double speak or triple speak or quadruple speak, whatever you want to call it, where Trump himself can say many things at once. And he himself has alluded to that he doesn't want people to know what he will do. But I think 2 weeks is just, it's not important how much time. I think the Iranians have no other option. If they do not seriously take the off-ramp that is provided, whatever that off-ramp looks like, I think the Americans will be pushed into getting involved further. And I think you can see a scenario where the Americans do get involved. But I'll caveat this. I do not think, even at this stage, even when things look like they could degenerate further, I still do not think regime change is on the table. I do not see the Israelis or the Americans yet going that far in this round. I simply do not see the necessity for it. If I can provide an example, Lebanon last year, the Israelis bombed
Ronnie,
Lebanon relentlessly. Sorry.
Before you say that,
yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Yesterday,
Sure.
we heard very clearly, though, from Israel that they want to get rid of the Iranian leadership. He was very, very clear. So just to make that point.
You're absolutely right. And I think there's bluster on all sides. And even during the war last year in Lebanon, the Israelis wanted to take Lebanon back to the Stone Age too. I think bluster will be said. You could even see more figures, whether this Israeli figure is the only one right now. Others may join the chorus. But I do not see yet the requirement to take the regime out. I see instead behavior change, whether you like it or not, whether you support this round on the Israeli-American side or not. I still think behavior, meaning what Iran does, not just from within its borders, but the entire region, that is now up for debate. And diplomacy, I think, will dictate how the Iranian regime operates in the region, because I am a firm believer in one thing. Nuclear energy, nuclear technology is not the ambition here. It's leveraged throughout the region. Iran has lost a lot of that, whether it's the war Hezbollah in Lebanon or in Gaza, or for that matter, Syria, losing an ally, a very critical ally. Iran has lost a lot of leverage. Nuclear energy alone, I don't think was the goal. And I don't think the Iranian regime can bet on having zero leverage in the region and sustaining itself further. They need an off-ramp and they need it now. If they do not take it, you may see the regime fracture, falter, internal fissures take hold, and perhaps a coup. And I'll add one thing with your permission. The Iranian regime is looking less and less like a theocracy and more like a military dictatorship. It may end up being a military dictatorship, but we're not there yet. I think diplomacy will play its course. It'll actually, I think, dictate a lot of what you see happening in the next 2 weeks. I do not see at this stage further escalation leading to regime change in Iran. Not yet.
Ronnie, we wait and see. Thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure to have you on the program. Ronnie Chatah, thank you.
My pleasure.